everybody, and welcome back to Musings by Nikki. It is just later in the afternoon from my last video, but for you it'll be another day. I've had lunch. I enjoyed some time with my husband because he just works out in our shop, and that's where his office is. So he comes in, we get to have lunch together every day. I have made my afternoon coffee. I am enjoying beautiful sunshine out the window. And I am going to make some more ephemera from the Mega Mix kits by Tracie Fox. I pulled out a few of the bases that looked kind of interesting to me. And so I thought we would walk through some of this stuff. If you haven't seen my previous video, I am working through the Mega Mix and Match kit by Tracie Fox. And the Compendium MK2. I will have them listed down below in the description box. And so without further ado, let's just get to making some ephemera. So this is on top. So I'm going to set these over here for now, and we'll just see how far we get. So this piece, or these pieces, so these kind of remind me of like slides, right? So they've got the little window and they're curved on the edges like this. So I think I'm going to cut out the window for sure and replace it with some vellum. And I've got some vellum printed out. This is one of her random background pages, and I printed it onto vellum. I thought that was kind of cool, and it just happens to match this. So I think we'll cut those windows out, and let's do that first. So I'm going to grab my... I still have not found my blades. This one is still sharp. I just broke the tip off, so I have no idea where my new blades are. Like I said in one of my previous videos, I'm sure I put them in somewhere safe, you know, where I thought was going to be a safe place, and now I have no idea where they are. So what I'm going to do, whoops, I apologize now because of course I forgot to re-silence my phone. I was doing so good this morning, whoops. This morning I remembered before I started filming my first video, I actually was like, ooh, let me silence my phone. And I did. And now then I unsilenced it at lunch. I'm sure there's a more correct term for unsilencing it, but I did that. And now it's back on. So you're just going to have to listen to it ding. Okay, there we go. And let's do the other one. All right. So my trick just with this, in case you've missed it in the past, is always pull toward you. Turn the piece, not your blade, because if you're pulling towards yourself, you tend to make a straighter line. So that's just for what it's worth. Okay, now we're going to get some vellum. I'm going to go on the wrong side here because then I can erase my pencil lines. And I'm going to trace that. And then I'm going to do it again here, but I'm going to put these next to each other so I... Okay. You probably can't see. Nope, not really. But before I forget, I'm going to ink around the inside edges of these. Just because I went through and cut up the entire kits. If you haven't seen the first video, I have cut up both of the Mega Mix and Match ephemera kits, and I've got the little bits and pieces all around my whole desk right now. And I've just been working through these pieces, and I'm not trying to keep them together and make them exactly the way they're supposed to be or anything like that. I am just crafting at will. That sounds like crazy, doesn't it? Crafting at will. That's what I'm doing though. So I've just got them stacked up, but I've got them all cut out and inked already. So, all right, now, oops, I'm just gonna cut. So the reason I trace is so that I can cut and leave myself like a 1/4 inch about around the edges of things, and then it will fit in there just fine. And that way when I glue it down on the inside, there's room. And then I'll probably sew around. I want to do a lot of sewing on this book. This is part of a larger project that's going to make another one of the, this one goes in this one. Make another one of the journals that I just finished. Yeah, how cute is that? Okay, but I'm going to, I think, let's see, I don't want to just attach it. I think we'll make this like an over the page thing. Also, I was thinking that I'm going to end up with a ton of ephemera here. And so it's not all going to fit in one journal. So this will probably become 2 journals. And one of them I'm going to do kind of a tutorial, if you will, on how I made my, on how I made my recent, like tri-fold folio type of journal. And I'll make a tutorial on how I made that cover. That's fun. This could be a pocket, the whole thing, and then I could make a side pocket here. Let's do that. Okay, so let's think through this here. I need the vellum attached to the front, but not the back, so this will be a side pocket, and then I'll need to attach those 2 sides, but leave this side open. Okay. Whew, you got to think through it sometimes. I'm going to erase these lines quick. Am I on the right side here? Yeah. Okay, so let's glue these in. I think I'll sew around them for reals, but I'm going to glue them in because vellum is really tricky to try and sew without it being somewhat prior attached. But I also don't want to send a ton of gloopy glue through my sewing machine. Which side is the right side here? That side. I want the right side out. So what I'm going to do is just put a little tiny bit of glue on there. Yeah, I just put a tiny bit of glue on there to hold it in place, and then then I can send it through my machine. Plus, art glitter glue dries up pretty darn quick. This side. If you didn't see my last video, I definitely have a cold. It's not too hard to tell that right now from my bassy voice. This one is a little slightly crooked, the lines, but I don't really mind that at all. Okay, so what I'm going to do is we need, I think if I put them on like this, it can be a top loading pocket here, and then a side loading pocket that'll go in behind that vellum. So I need to sew the top part on its own, and then I'll put the other one on the back side, like so. So I need to sew this top part on its own, and then I will sew the whole thing like on as a pocket. Yeah. Okay, so first I have to sew the top shut, and then I will sew them onto this. And I want it to still open, so I have to be sure that I do that. So I'm going to go sew this, and I'll be right back. Okay, that took a little bit longer than I thought because my bobbin was just not very happy with me, so I had to rectify the situation, but it should be smooth sailing from here on out. So then I also had a little conundrum as I went to sew these on, because clearly they are not sewn on like I said I was going to. I realized if I did that, I would sew the side pocket shut, which is not what we want to do. So I just sewed around this, and we'll just glue the pockets on because everything is sewn. So let's do this the right way. And then I left this one open on this side for here, and this one open on this side for here. So So we're going to glue them on. Yep, I'm going to double and triple make sure that I'm doing this correctly so that I get it on here the right way. And then I'm going to close this up so I don't over glue the seam. And there we go. Since everything's already sewn, you can't even really tell that I am gluing this on. It just kind of looks like it's sewn on. That's all good. Okay, that side is done and it's open still. I didn't glue anything shut, so we're good. This goes here, open on this side, so yep, we're good. You could just make these into like slides, you know, you could cut out the little, you know, spot here where I put vellum in. You could cut that out and just put in a picture of a flower or any one of these other bits of ephemera that comes with this. There are lots of floral pictures that you could definitely put in there. But, you know, like I said, I'm doing it all however it comes to me at the very moment that I'm working on it. So this is what we're doing with this one. Okay. I'm kind of half inclined to make this into a mini notebook. Like sew some pictures or sew or staple some pages in there. I don't know. Let's get this part done first and then we'll see. So we need something that'll tuck in the side here. And I think these pieces here look like they're about the right size. But it's got to be able to, so it's got to be able to go in and still hang out enough that we can get it in and out. Obvi. Let's see if this one does. That one does. And we could also put a tab on there. Oops, that one's going to get lost. But a little tab on there would be cute. So let's maybe do that. Let's make a tab. And we'll do that on, that one sticks out a little far. Let's see if we can find another one that's like this height and put a tab on it. She is a little, she might be a little too short. Let's just take a quick gander. Oh, that one might work. That one actually sticks out just far enough on its own, and I kind of like the flowers that you can see through there. So I'm going to do that one. I wonder if there's another one that size. Pardon me as I go through all of my ephemera. That one's going to be too wide. That's promising. This lady here, that's too short. This lady is promising. Oh, but then you don't see her face, which is kind of odd. I suppose we could put her in this way. We can do that way. And then this one over here. Like so. All right. Now let's put those back over there. And then we need something to go in here. And you do get a stack of tags with this. So let's go. These two guys actually look like they would fit very well. Ooh, it might be a little tight, but they fit very well. That fits really good there. You know, if it's a little tight, that's actually okay, because that means they're not going to fall out very easily. Because I kind of like the way those guys look there. And then we need some little embellishment there. And then, okay, so we've got a bunch of these little labels and things. Maybe a special delivery label there, of course, with some, and let's do this one, little 33. We'll do those, but they of course are going to need some cheesecloth or something behind them. So I've got a little bit of cheesecloth that I'm working through here. Let's not snip my finger like I did last time, because that, you know, you can't really see it. It just kind of stings. Because yes, I cut my finger with the scissors as I was, I believe, snipping cheesecloth. Okay, I'm gonna stretch these out just a little because I like the really grungy, stretchy, pulley look. And then we will go ahead and glue this on. So what I was thinking was if I get, you know, well, not if, when I get through these kits and I end up with like just way too much ephemera to fit in one journal, because the folio, the trifold folio, double folio journal thing, whatever, I don't even know what to call it. I just make things up as I go in all ways, especially when it comes to naming things. I hate trying to name things, but when I make that, it is just a single signature. So it's a single signature journal and then a traveler's notebook that is on top of it. Oh my gosh, this thing is totally stuck to my finger. There we go. So, you know, you can only fit so much ephemera in there. And so what I think I might do is make one of Tracie's. Tracie has a great tutorial that you can purchase, actually, the class, which I really recommend, to make this like accordion thing that you can put accordion like folio. I forget what she actually calls it, of course, because clearly she doesn't call it an accordion folio thingy like I am right now calling it. We've got some of these little black letters that comes with it as well. So I think I'll make one of those things, and you can, what you end up doing is putting a bunch of pieces of ephemera. So now the class that you can get through Tracie Fox shows you how to make a journal that fits in there and a bunch of ephemera that you can make that goes in there, and you get, I believe, a kit even comes with it. But I think I will use the kits that I'm, well, clearly making all this ephemera with right now. I feel like these need a little doohickey stringy thing. I'm using my big fancy words today. A doohickey stringy thing. And I had some, let me put my hands on it. Give me a second. This is the problem with having way too much on my desk. Of this cool ribbon that I found at the Hobby Lobby that looks like a measuring tape. And I think that would make a cool little thing here. So I'll do that on one side. I'm just going to staple that on. And then I will put something else on the other side. I have also out on my desk some of this kind of burlappy trim stuff. It's kind of like a ribbon. It's very stiff. And let me grab my... I really want to get a tiny attacher, but I just haven't been able to like justify it. I don't know. It's, you know how sometimes some of your purchases seem like they're the extravagant ones? For some reason, a tiny attacher seems extravagant to me. I don't know why. Probably because I have a bunch of staplers already. So it feels like, why do I need a teeny tiny stapler? But I want one. Oh. All of a sudden there's a ton of buses rolling by my window and I was trying to figure out why, but then I remembered it's homecoming Pep Fest day, so the neighboring school that we do sports with, if you watched my previous video, they come over for the Pep Fest. I was kind of bummed. I thought they were going to live stream it so I could see my girls do their, whoops, that wasn't very smart. I was going to try and crisscross them and then I wasn't paying attention. See my girls do their lip sync battle. I was kind of excited for that. Hopefully they'll put the performances on the Facebook page. They do that usually. Okay. This one goes on here. Whoa, whoa. Work with me. OMG. Maybe I will not be able to do this. Nope, she persisted. We will. This one needs a little, but well, I was gonna say I didn't put a butterfly there, but you know what? It's too close to his head, and we'll end up covering up his head, and he'll look like one of those little ballet dancer, you know, vintage ballet dancer ladies that have the butterflies on their head, and we don't want that. He's a handsome young man. There we go. Okay. There we go. Okay, that is cute, and I am happy with this so far. I may or may not sew in some paper. I'll see, depending on how I end up using it, because it could just go over the edge of a page like this, and then it just could be a journaling spot on the inside and on the back of the tags and stuff. Or I could make it into a piece of ephemera a standalone piece of ephemera by making it into a mini notebook and then tying some like sari silk or something around it. So I'm going to just put that in the done pile. Next, I have this. Now, I believe that these tags are supposed to be cut off because there's a big enough white line in between them. But I kind of left it together like this because I wondered about them folding in as a flap and becoming tuck spots. So I'm going to fold the two tags in the middle for sure. I was intrigued as I was cutting this one out, and I thought that will be a fun one to play with. So let us do so. Okay, so that one. And then we have these two side ones. So I kind of want to, if I just fold them in, let's see what happens. We're just going for it. Yeah, that's kind of fun. Okay. Let's fold this one in as well. Sorry. Time for a sip. Time for a sip of the afternoon coffee. Okay. They definitely need some inking because there is that white space along the side here, so we'll just disguise that by inking. And then you don't even really see it. But this fold, the center fold, just needs a little inking as well. And then we're good. Okay. So now to decide what we want to do with it, because that's kind of cute. So now I could sew around these and that would in effect sew this down and turn it into a tuck spot, or I could leave them open and they could be, you know, we could open them up and there could be something here as well. Let's look at these. Ooh, we could put little circle tags, little circle pockets there. That's kind of fun. Okay, I think I'm going to do that. I'm going to make this, so then I'm going to ink these folds really quick. because we will now see them. And we'll put little circle pocket. You know what, maybe we'll just do it on one side, you know, so we don't get too matchy-matchy. And then we'll put a little pocket or something on that side. We could do like a belly band of some sort. I was hoping one of those would just like fit perfectly and, you know, be a thing. Okay, that's it. We're not going to keep pursuing that because, well, just one more here. That one fits perfect. What's our color scheme here? Okay, no, that works. Antiques. Okay, so I am going to just go ahead and say yes to that. So I'm going to glue it on the edges here because I'll probably end up sewing all the way around this whole thing. So I'm just going to glue it in place here. So that'll be like a belly band that we can slip something in. And then this will be a circle pocket. So I'm going to hold on to the top and just glue the bottom half here. This one I can't really sew on because you would see it through the front, would look really odd because that's a portrait on the front there. Okay, so there we go. Now we've got a pocket there as well. I do have all of these little bits and pieces here from the Compendium MK2 kit as well. So just a couple of these might, or one of these and a ticket maybe could go in there. That's kind of cute. And then we need something to go behind here, and we do have a longer ticket. But you know what? I think it needs to be something wider because we ran into that problem before. Let's look through our little pile. Oh, goodness here. Oh, here's some like T card size things. That's perfect. But I kind of like the idea of two things there. There we go. Then what do we do on, okay, what do we do on the, I'm just gonna give that a double good fold down there. So we open that up and we have those, and then we need like pockets or something here. Let's go to, I've got this pile of bits and pieces. Oh, I know what I'll do. I have some more of this vellum. We could make a couple of vellum pockets. Let's do that. So I'm going to cut this so it's a little more manageable, because if you've ever printed on vellum, you know how it loves to curl up. So I'm going to trim that edge off, and that should give me a solid edge for over here. And then I'm going to nice patterned piece, so I know I need to cut right down the middle of those here. Okay. And then I'm going to cut off right here. Like so. Okay, I will save this piece. And then I'm going to fold over, whoops, that cut on straight. That's where I was just kind of whacking it off earlier. So I'm going to try and just eyeball that a little straighter. That's better. And then with vellum pockets, I always like to fold over the top a little bit to reinforce the edge, just because it tends to tear easily. So if I do this, it just kind of reinforces it. Plus it gives it a neat little design. I'm going to trim it just a little bit more because I want it to for sure be smaller than the page there. There we go. And then maybe I will use some of that other vellum to make a pocket on the other side. How about? We can make this one a little taller. And then I'm going to trim this edge because it will give me a nice straight edge. Although here I don't have my pattern's going side to side, so I'm just going to give myself a very light trim line here. Okay. And then we'll fold over the top of this one. And I'm going to go sew these on, and in doing so I'll just sew around that, but I'm also going to sew across the top edge here just to give it some interest. So I'm going to go do a little bit of sewing and I'll be right back. Okay, so here we go with this, and I think they're sewn around, and I just sewed a little zigzag across the tops there, and those fold in, and that folds over. I really like the way that looks when you open it up like that. So let's see for these. I don't know if these tags are going to be just right. Hey. That fits really well in there. Maybe no, I was gonna say maybe the fox and the red one, but I kind of like the way that the red echoes and the blue echoes that way. So I feel like they need a butterfly though. So let's look at, the medium ones are too big. So let's grab a handful of the babies and see if we can find, well, actually maybe just on one side, because otherwise it covers up the fox's face. So let's see if we can find one that goes well over here. Actually, you know what? I'll back it with, I'll sew it onto a little piece of fabric so it stands out better. Like so. We'll go sew that on really quick. Like I said, I like to leave all the stringy business behind there sometimes. Not always, but sometimes. And so I'm going to go sew that on, and then we'll put him in there. Okay. Cute. I, of course, sewed on the stringy side. Yeah, nope. Oh, there's stringy side on both sides. So I did not. Okay. I may have just put excessive glue on there, so I'm going to need to leave this set to the side for a minute before I close that up. Maybe Mr. Fox here needs a little... Oh, we've got labels too. I forget we get some labels with this kit. Should we put a little label there? I like the bigger one. We'll put a label there too. Just 'cause we can. And I have this, like, this fear that I'm either going to So as I'm working through the kit, I'm either going to use all of my ephemera up right away and have nothing left when I get to the bottom sets of bases, or I am going to have tons of little bits and pieces left and no bases left. But I suppose either way, I have plenty of little Tracie Fox bits and pieces all over my desk, so I shouldn't be too worried. Okay, let's see. That's not too tacky. We have this adorable little like folding ephemera folder. I don't know what to call it, but it's cute. It could have something on front and back for sure. It's definitely going to need to be tied shut because it wants to puffy. Or have a paper clip or something on it because it doesn't want to stay shut. But let's see, what should we put on front? I have you know what? I wonder if we, is that a little, because we could do this and maybe we could put like a person behind there and then put some cheesecloth behind that, or not cheesecloth, some ribbon or something, sari silk behind that, and that could be what holds it shut. Maybe. Because that could be kind of cute. I think I'm going to do that. But I wonder if I can make this also like a frame that you can pull him in and out of. Ooh, he's barely fits though. That might be tight. I wonder if I've got another one that's a little more narrow. Because I can't sew this on. It is really thick chipboard. It definitely just needs to be glued on. Maybe the photo thing is pushing it, trying to make this a pocket as well. Maybe it just has to be an element. Oh, but before I do that, I want to get a piece of sari silk that can become the tie. Let me grab that. You know what? He would look, now that I've got this flat on here, I'm going to untie this so I don't inadvertently tie it, glue anything shut or something. He would look really cute if we put some glossy accents on him, so I think I might do that. Do I have it around me or is it like far away? I don't seem to have my glossy accents at hand. But wouldn't he be cute? That would be almost like a little picture frame if he was glossy accented. Do all kinds of work to keep this going. Okay, so it looks a little milky right now, but that's because it's not dried. As it dries, it will get nice and like clear and look like a cool little piece of glass over there. So I am cool with this. I've got to set it aside so it dries nice and level. So we'll set that over there. And then let's see, let's move on. I've got these two. I'm going to go with this one because this one just intrigues me. So there is a white line here, which tells me we fold it in half. And then this is either a pocket you can cut off, or again, I left it attached. So let's try. This is dumb. I should not be doing this, but I'm gonna do it and try and just eyeball it. Okay. And now I'm gonna commit by bone folding it down. Let's have glue all over my fingers after that last little bit. Okay, so I've got that little folder here, and then this piece I thought could either fold over the front like so. I kind of want to do this because, and I'll show you why in just a second. I think what I want to do is put like a brad here, or not a brad, an eyelet, and then with some string, and it can wind around to maybe an eyelet closure here or something. I'm not sure, but while we think about it, let's ink. Let's ink as we think. Now I sound like a children's show, don't I? Come on, kids. Let's ink as we think. I'm going to go extra hard right here because it disguises that white spot where I think I was supposed to cut it. And then I'm always going to do these inside folds and that inside fold. Okay. I think that's all the places I needed to do. Yeah. So, but I think if we put some sort of paper that matches this on the inside here, it can become a pocket as well. Or we can put, you know, a piece here and then we can stick it in there so it looks like it's a pocket. There is this also piece. Does that make a whole lot of sense? So I think maybe these would go like this in here. But that's not what we're doing, because that would be one example. But I'm feeling, you know, like trying 100 different ways. So I think maybe we'll put that one on the back and I can sew that on when I sew around. And then I want to put some sort of pocket here. So when this flap comes over, we can still stick things in the front. And then I think what we'll do is turn the inside of this into a notebook. And I've got some just pieces of coffee stained paper here. But what I'm going to need to do is cut it with my cutting board. So let's cut down. We need, this is like 5 1/4, so we'll cut 5 by, this is 6 1/4, so let's go 5 by 6. And grab my small cutter. Oh no, we don't need the extender. And we can probably cut a couple out of here. So let's go 5. Actually, let's cut it down to 6 first. And then we'll go 5. Whoops, that just fell right off. My cutting blade. There we go. And we'll go 5 again. That gives us 4 pages. Let's do maybe a little book page in there, huh? Ooh, that one's got a picture on it. Let's see. I'm going to use my knife to try and preserve as much of this paper or this page as I can. It will be able to get that in there just fine. Lincoln's family at home in the White House, it says. So I want to preserve that part. And those fit just right in there, like so. So I'm going to make sure they're kind of centered-ish, and then I'm gonna staple them in, but, oh, whoops, what am I doing? I want the smooth side of the staples on the outside, so I'm gonna hold that tightly in place. Oh, but I want it this way because I don't want that flat. Let me make sure I'm right good there. And then I'm gonna line my stapler up, and I know right on my stapler where the staple comes out. So I can line that right up with the fold. And there we go. Did I put it in upside down? Okay, no. Oh my gosh, for a second I thought I just stapled that in there upside down with Abraham Lincoln going the wrong way. But nope, he's good. Abraham Lincoln is fine. And look, there's half his family, and then there's the other half is on the other side. And I'm just gonna fold them over and give them a little crease. There we go. So let's, should have sewn around before I did that. I can still sew around. Shh. Silly Nikki. Okay, I want to put this pocket on the back. Yeah. I was going to say, maybe I want to save this for something else, but this is matchy, so we'll do that. So I'm going to sew that pocket on, and then we'll put something in there. And then let's put an eyelet in there. I need to grab one. While I was in there, I just grabbed a little, oh, that says field notes though. I was gonna say, I just grabbed a little thing, let's use that. But you know what? I don't want to use the field notes one because that goes in a field notes journal, clearly. All right, I need this guy. And we will punch a hole and set the eyelet. Okay. Yes, I like this. Okay, this will go on the back. I was going to say, because this can hang from the thing. But we can, you know what? We can always put a button on there too. I've got plenty of buttons right here. Now I need a piece of like string. What have I got in here? I've always got string and stuff. Ooh, here I've got some. That's probably not long enough. I think this is like crochet thread or something, but see how it is so bright white? That is little bit of doing the most there. So what am I, now I have to determine what do I want to do here. So if I put this through and it winds around, it needs like a windy guy closure right there, I think is what we need to do. You'll get sewn on in a sec. So we need to make a little, I think they're called like button, loop, hole, something or other closures. Hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I've got this container full of a whole bunch of altered ones that I made once upon a long video ago, and they will work perfectly for this. So I've got a bumblebee one. These are just some papers. I kind of like this one. That's the one I gravitated to first, so we're just going to go with it. And I don't know if this will reach far enough in. There we go. So I'm going to just tie a few knots on here. You know what? This is dumb. I should sew around it first because it's going to suck to have this thing flapping all over the place as I try to sew. So I'm going to go sew around the edges, but I do need to decide if I want what kind of pocket I want there. So because I know that's going to go on the back. And when I flip this open, I want to put something there. So that works perfect. And actually, I know that this page came with these cars, and I kind of love the cars. So we're going to put one of the cars on there. Isn't that cute? Hold on, there's a couple more of them. There's also a spoon. Green car. Red car. I think the green matches with this green, so let's do the green car. But he doesn't need to be on there right now. So I'm going to sew this pocket on and sew this pocket on back, and then I'll be right back. Okay. So I've got them sewn around. I've got pockets sewn on. So let's decorate. I love this little car, and I think he needs a little piece of something behind him. And I've got a little piece of muslin there. I don't know. I kind of just want cheesecloth, I think. Which I had. Oh. Oops. Let's see, we want it about yay longish. Then I'm going to grungy it up a bit there. And glue her down. I always put a little extra glue when I am going over cheesecloth so that it goes through the cheesecloth and adheres to the paper well. Oh. Winter storm watch. That's great. I'm so excited. I can't wait to check my phone and see what we have coming our way. Okay. So that's on there. And that will go over top of that. And we need something to go in this pocket, but we also need maybe something to go on top of it. We've got these flowers. Yeah, oh, and I've got some tickets over here. Let's do one of these maybe, huh? We can stick one of those. They've got a little gold on them. I kind of like that. Hey. Okay. And then we need something for in here. So let's revert back to our pile of stuff here. Yeah, my whole thing about worrying about running out of ephemera is probably not something I should have to worry about. There's a car here, so let's go with the little map because that's cute. And these are all going to be a little too short. Let's see. There we go. Those two things can go in there. And then now I'm going to tie this, because before, if I had tied it, it would have really sucked to try to sew with this thing tied on. And I'm going to leave myself a long tail. And what I do is tie the same knot. It's almost like a macrame tie that I do. What would this be called? The clove? No. Oh, I don't ever remember what they're called. I just know how to do them all. There's a clove. There's a hitch stitch. There's a clove knot. Right, there's the lark's head knot. That one I know how to do. That's like what we do when we put ties on top of tags and stuff. We'll go 1, 2, 3 times around. Oh, 2 times around and then spin. Okay. So we can unwindy-guy it. And then we've got a cute little notebook. And we could definitely decorate the notebook in there if we want to. Maybe at a future date, I will. Maybe if I've got lots of stuff left over, like if I've got lots of little bits and pieces left over from doing this, I could use some of them to decorate some of the pages. So I think that I am probably at my max for this video. I've got this guy still drying over there. Dry little man, but look what we got done today. This was fun. Okay, so now what I am going to do is go ahead and finish working through a bunch of this ephemera. What I will probably just do is film myself doing it, but I'm going to just then, I'll post a video with some music under it and me going, you know, just fast forwarding through it, working without chatting. And that way you can kind of just see my thought process as I work through it. And we can make some more ephemera pieces, and then we'll decide at some point as I put together the rest of the journal, which ones will actually go into that journal and which ones will go into the ephemera folio thingy-majiggy. Like these sorts of pieces where they're a lot more bulky, I think these will end up going. I think I'll probably turn this into a notebook and tie something around it. And these sorts of things will end up going into that ephemera folio because they're a little more bulky. And then some of the other ones that, like we've already made, the envelope definitely can go in the journal. And these are the ones we made the other day. This one can definitely get clipped in. And then this tri-foldy guy, I'm not sure. If I put another pocket on here and put something on the back and then attach a ribbon here to tie around, that could just be an ephemera piece that could go in the ephemera folder folio OMG. So anyway, thanks for hanging out with me today, guys. I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that you found some inspiration or something. And did I just say inspiration or something? I hope you were, got something out of this. Thanks for hanging out with me to the end if you are here with me. And I will see you guys again very soon. I hope that you're having a wonderful morning or afternoon or evening or middle of the night, whatever time it is on whatever side of this fantastic globe of ours that you live on. And until I see you next time, take care, stay safe. I hope you're able to be crafty, and I hope that you are feeling well. And until I see you next time, take care and God bless. Bye, guys.